Welcome to Top Agent Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better real estate business today. And here is your host, #1 best-selling real estate expert, speaker, and performance coach, Keith Dougherty.
Hello and welcome to this episode of our show. This is your host, Keith Dougherty. Today our special guest is top real estate broker Mary Ann McMahon of Remax Posh Properties based out of Austin, Texas. Mary Ann first started her professional career in the high-tech industry with roles as sales executive and global sales manager supporting Fortune 500 companies. Then in 2010, she founded Posh Properties as a boutique brokerage specializing in high-end luxury homes. In 2015, she decided to join with Remax and become Remax Posh Properties. To date, her brokerage has grown to over 29 agents, all while staying true to her beliefs of serving others, giving back, and providing 5-star customer service. Now with the combination of global exposure, brand recognition, advanced technology, and local knowledge expertise of the Austin market, what Remax Posh Properties has to offer is truly unique. All right, with all that said, Mary Ann, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much, Keith. Really happy to be here today.
And Mary Ann, if we could start for our listeners, what led you into real estate? Was it something that you always knew you wanted to do, or did you maybe stumble into it?
Well, it's kind of a combination of both. When I was young and growing up, my dad was in the real estate business, and more from an investment perspective. We lived up in Ohio, right on Lake Erie, and when we moved to that area from southern Ohio, he started developing like high-end mobile home parks on Lake Erie. And a lot of people from the Cleveland area would come and vacation in our town of Port Clinton in the summers. And I started working with my dad when I was very young. He really believed in work ethic and teaching his kids that. But I really kind of gravitated toward these homes would come with, a lot of decorative things that you could set up. And I loved doing that. And I really got into the sales of it with him and kind of watched what he was doing and got excited about it. And then as that little town started growing, a lot of condominiums were developed. And it was just amazing to me to see how our small town had changed and the development with real estate. And I was fascinated with that. But then I moved on and went to college and started working in the computer industry. And I landed at Dell and had a great career there. I started out in sales and always had gravitated towards sales and done very well. And then I was promoted to a regional manager. And then I took a global position with Dell and just had an amazing 9-year career there, and with the global piece of it, got to travel all over the world. And the thing that I really took away from that experience was the leadership that I learned at Dell. And I think that has really contributed to the way that I'm structuring my real estate business here in Austin.
Excellent. And can you talk a little bit about what personal attributes, traits, or qualities you think have most contributed to the success that you've had in real estate?
I think there's a lot of personal attributes such as the work ethic and drive. We're in a very competitive environment in Austin, and I think to maintain a top position in the city, you've got to have those attributes. And in addition to that, I think in running my business, I did learn a lot with my career at Dell, and it really has helped me kind of structure how I'm running the business and also giving back to others. I really feel like when you're afforded things in your life, it's kind of your duty to go out and help others succeed. And I have set my business up like that in a team approach where I'm having some of the more experienced agent mentor some of the newer agents coming in. And it's just a win-win for everybody in terms of growth and everybody learning and succeeding and working as a team.
Excellent. And do you think you could give our listeners an example of when these traits have played a role in your path towards success?
I would say, personally, I still love the selling side of the business in real estate. And I think the way that I've set up, bringing my management experience from Dell into my own company has helped me to be able to have good time management and also the skills to be able to still follow my passion and sell luxury real estate and help clients achieve their dreams with their homes, as well as work in a management capacity in my business and recognize others with management capabilities and build a team that helps me be able to run my business as well as realize my passion in continuing to sell real estate.
And I think whenever somebody builds a successful business and along the way that sometimes there's filled with bumps in the road. Can you talk about some of the adversities and trials that you've had to overcome in order to achieve your goals?
Sure. I really think from the very beginning, the decision to leave Dell was a very hard decision. I was very entrenched in the company, and that was a major obstacle for me, but it was the right path for me. And I quickly got my real estate license and started working in real estate, building a team with another brokerage and becoming successful at that. Then I went through a divorce and I had 3 little kids. I had twin girls that were 5 and a son that was 3. And I really, I had to take care of those children and also figure out how to take care of myself. And I would say just my tenacity and the experience that I'd had at Dell, I decided as soon as my son was in kindergarten to get my broker's license. And it just took off from there. I've managed, and a lot of people say to me, how do you do everything you do? And I think I just have learned time management, and my priority are my children. I really do spend a lot of time with them. I try to be there for their sporting events. And I think just going through that, just having a blow, telling somebody they're going to divorce you and you have these 3 little kids to take care of. And it just gave me more strength to continue to grow the business and stay super close with my children and have a great relationship with them as well.
Well, obviously, like you said there, you kind of were struck with those things. They came at you, especially the divorce, and it could have went many different ways. You could have decided that maybe go back, maybe get a job, maybe do something that's a little more secure than trying to build things yourself. I mean, what kept you going despite these obstacles? Why didn't you give up? What was your driving force?
I think my driving force was really my family, and I had worked in corporate America. And I think I understood that real estate could offer me more flexibility, especially when they were young. And I would say also teaching them to face adversity and be able to overcome it and be a good mentor for them. I really think it all stems back to my kids and trying to teach them how to be successful and provide for them, and just realize all the opportunities that Austin has to offer without working for corporate America again, if that makes sense.
No, and I like what you said there, that your kids, your family was a driving force, to obviously take care of them and provide for them. But I also like what you said, that it wasn't just to, take care of them and maintain, but it was to, mentor them and guide them on, like, here's a perfect example of when the world comes at you with something, when it tries to knock you down, here's how you get back up and raise yourself up, and you stand up and you become even better than you were before. So I think that just sets a great example for the children or anybody to realize that life's going to come at you. There's going to be adversity. There's going to be trials and tribulations, and however you handle that is going to help define you and help you become what you want to be. And I guess kind of looking forward, what's your vision now for your brokerage, say over the next 3 to 5 years?
That's a great question. It's funny because I just recently on Facebook had an article pop up that was written when I opened my first office, which was very scary. And that was exactly 2 years ago, almost to date. And that was in downtown Austin. And the article stated that at the time I had 12 agents and we were doing about 30 million in sales. And I believe the article said that, my goal was to double that in the next 12 months. And it was kind of, I really haven't even looked at that article in a while, but it popped up on Facebook. And I kind of laughed because we have about 30 agents now, 2 years later. And so I've more than doubled it. And I've probably tripled our volume in terms of the volume that we do. We now have an office in downtown Austin at 9th and Lamar. And I bought out another broker a year and a half ago in January in South Austin. And that was a really great move. There were some top producing agents out of that office that worked for that broker, and they have stayed with me, which was a really good testament to the management. And I'm so honored that they're still on my team and supporting me. And I would say, if continuing in that fashion, I would like to open another office or two, but not until I get kind of the foundation of my two offices stable and make sure that everything's running smoothly. And probably a couple more locations and to double my agent count. I'd like to really have about 20 agents in each office, and that's something that we have to work at every day. So, and of course, along with that comes doubling the revenue and more. Austin, there's so much opportunity in the real estate business in Austin and the surrounding areas. We really want to take advantage of that. And I can't do it alone. I want to make sure that I continue to be a good team leader and afford opportunities to those on my team to help grow the business.
So I guess based on history of what you said in that article and what happened a year later, and you're saying that here today, what your goals are. So it'd be interesting when we check back with you next year. I imagine you're going to probably more than achieve your goal, considering you more than doubled your agents, you tripled the revenue. So that's it's just a phenomenal testament too. I think also what you kind of did there kind of leads itself to making a plan. You had a plan. You weren't just like, oh, I'm going to just try to do this and I'm going to open a broker. Right? You had an actual plan. It was set that I'm going to continue to build. You built it by the plan, and you more than doubled your agents, and you tripled the revenue of what you expected. So I think that's a great testament. So it'll be exciting to we'll mark this one down, and we'll check back with you next year and see how you've doubled or tripled again. I'm sure.
Well, thanks.
So I guess also kind of on top of that, as you're building this out and as you're growing things, what do you feel is the best way that you market your brokerage so that you can have this continual growth, so you can continue to build and increase things?
Well, I think that one of the best moves that I've made in my real estate career, when I started Posh Properties in 2009, I always, and this was in that article as well, that I really wanted to have a luxury boutique company. And as we started to grow, we got up to 10 agents. I knew that, and also working in the global area at Dell and understanding Austin and the global capacity here, I knew that I needed to have something bigger. And I knew that, just having my small company, although I could have kept going, it would have taken much longer to get to where I needed to be in terms of a global presence. And I am thrilled with my decision to purchase a Remax franchise. And the downtown office that I purchased is the Remax collection. And Remax approached me and wanted to open the Remax collection in Austin, which is their luxury brand. And it's been in existence for 5 years. Remax collection is celebrating their 5th year anniversary. And I'm very pleased that I did that, and think that was something that is contributing to our continued growth. But as I continued, I opened bought out the broker in South Austin, and came to realize there is more than just the luxury market in Austin and fueling the growth of Austin. So I feel like we have a really good diversity. And to me, I think I kind of had my head in the sand in terms of luxury, which is very important and something that I gravitate towards. But I feel like not all of my agents necessarily concentrate on luxury, and that's really a good thing for the business and fueling the growth.
Excellent. Well, I think you made some great points there, especially with how you're talking about you had one set of focus where you were kind of looking at the luxury, which was important, and you were able to build that up. But it was also, I think, key what you said there about the diversity to realize that you have other agents and other segments, and there's multiple segments, especially in the area that you're going, that can certainly help you grow your business in a bigger fashion than maybe what you expected just under the luxury brand. So I think sometimes when people look at real estate agents or brokers, that the barrier to entry seems pretty easy, that people just kind of do, they take a course, they pass a test, and next thing they have a license, and now like, oh, well, they're magically going to be rich and suitcases of money just fall down out of the sky because now I have a real estate license. And it seems like there's a lot of people that just jump into the field. And I think that might cause some misconceptions when it comes to dealing with the general public. I mean, what do you think the biggest misconception or myth people have about working with real estate agents?
I kind of ditto what you just said. I mean, I do feel like people think, it's an easy career and, anybody can get into it. And especially in Austin, the real estate market is so just thriving here. And there are a lot of people that get into real estate. And of course, being a broker, we come across a lot of people that want to be in real estate. And I think it's important for me, when I have a new person wanting to join the industry, to educate them on what it takes. This is not a part-time career. And what I try to tell the newer agents and people wanting to get into this business is that this is like any other business. You have to work full time. It's to be successful. You can't just work half days or be off and on. You have to consider it just like you would working for any other company. It's a full time job, and it's probably harder than working for a lot of companies. I think there's the agents that I see that are very successful. They have a certain drive to them and tenacity and business planning and business acumen. And frankly, the agents that I've interviewed recently that are trying to get into this market, I'm very impressed. They're all college educated. It's a different, even than it was 5 years ago, it's a different market, especially in Austin. And I think that a lot of young people, millennials especially, do look at real estate as a viable career. And they're very serious about it. It takes a lot of planning and a lot of training to be a successful real estate agent, and it's ongoing. It's not something that you can just, go get your real estate license and you're off and running. It's continual training, and that's something in our brokerage that we try to offer our agents is a very good base business planning and training, ongoing training, and really up to the highest level of successful agent in our company. They come to the meetings, they train with us, they take in, they understand that it's an ongoing process. And there are a lot of designations that you can get as a real estate broker and agent. And that's something that successful agents take advantage of and continually do continuing education. And I would say it's probably one of the harder industries to be very successful and to maintain that success in.
And let's say, for example, let's say you get a call from a family member or a friend, and they're in another state, so they're not local to you, so you wouldn't be able to directly assist them. But let's say they want to sell their home. What advice would you give them about selecting an agent that could best serve their needs?
Well, that's a great question. And that's one of the beauties of Remax and one of the big drivers that helped me make a decision to go with the Remax franchise. Remax is an international company. So if anybody comes to me and wants to buy a home in any area of the United States or outside of the United States internationally, we have a wonderful referral program. And at any given moment, I can contact a broker anywhere in the country, or as I said, outside of the country. We're in 95 countries, and immediately have the client taken care of. When I first came to Remax and I was being trained and told about all this, I thought, oh gosh, I'll see how that works. It works beautifully. And it comes back to us too. Being in Austin, we get a lot of referrals, and I think I strive harder to take care of a referral client than I do anybody else, because I want to make sure that other Remax broker that gave it to me knows that I'm working hard for them. So it's a great system, and it's worked very well for us.
Excellent. And if somebody's looking for real estate services, especially in the Austin, Texas area, what's the best way they can find out more information about you and how you can help them?
They can contact us directly, and or they can go to our website, poshpropertiesaustin.com, and we have a Facebook page, very active in social media, and all of our contact information is on either of those sites.
Excellent. Well, obviously, Mary Ann, we want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to come here today and share all your professional experience with all our listeners. And if you're listening and you want to learn more about Mary Ann and what she can do or what her brokerages can do to help you, you can go to her site, like she said. Also, below this interview, we'll have a link to all of her contact information so you can see how she can help you with your real estate needs. So with that said, everybody, until our next show, have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to Top Agent Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading real estate industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at topagentradio.com today.